Ethan entered the dimly lit local bar seeking nothing more than a quiet evening with a glass of whiskey. The place was a typical dive, with faded neon signs and worn-out furniture, where the clink of glasses and soft murmurs created a sense of ordinary tranquility. He settled into a booth in the corner, enjoying the calming silence as he sipped his drink. The calm was abruptly shattered when a group of 5 thugs stormed through the bar's entrance. Their leader, a burly man with a scar across his cheek, bellowed, "We're here for the protection money. You know the deal." The bartender, a middle-aged man named Joe, looked nervous as he wiped down the counter. "I don't have it tonight. I'm short." Before he could finish, one of the thugs, a wiry guy with a sneer, shoved Joe aside. "That's not our problem. Pay up or else." Ethan watched from his booth, his eyes narrowing as the tension escalated. Joe's teenage daughter, Emma, who was stacking glasses behind the bar, looked on with wide, frightened eyes. Ethan's gaze shifted back to the thugs, particularly to the thug who was now brandishing a menacingly large crowbar. The leader of the gang turned toward Emma. "Maybe we should start with her. A little encouragement for Daddy to come up with the cash." Ethan's grip tightened around his glass. The air in the bar thickened with fear and anger. He couldn't ignore it any longer. Standing up calmly, Ethan approached the thugs, his presence exuding a quiet confidence. "I think it's time you boys left," he said, his voice steady. The thugs laughed, the sound harsh and mocking. The scar-faced leader sized Ethan up with a sneer. "And who's going to make us? You?" Without warning, the thug with the crowbar lunged at Ethan, swinging the weapon with brute force. Ethan sidestepped the blow, his movements precise and fluid. He grabbed the thug's arm mid-swing, twisting it and using the thug's momentum to slam him against the bar, and the thug crumpled to the floor, stunned. The remaining thugs hesitated for a split second, their surprise quickly turning into anger. One of them, a burly man with a tattoo of a snake on his arm, charged at Ethan. Ethan ducked under a wild punch and retaliated with a well-placed kick to the thug's ribs. The man grunted and fell, clutching his side. Ethan grabbed a bar stool, swinging it around to block another thug's advance. He cracked it across the thug's back, sending him sprawling. The bar stool shattered, but Ethan was already moving, grabbing a beer bottle and smashing it against the last thug's head. The thug dropped like a sack of potatoes, unconscious before he hit the floor. The bar fell into an astonished silence, punctuated only by the moans of the thugs and the faint crackle of the radio in the corner. Joe and Emma stood behind the bar, their faces a mix of relief and disbelief. Ethan turned to the bartender, brushing off his hands nonchalantly. "Sorry about the mess," he said with a wry smile. His voice was calm, as if the chaos that had just unfolded was no more than a minor inconvenience. Joe shook his head, a smile creeping across his face. "Thank you, Ethan. You're a lifesaver." As Ethan walked out of the bar, he couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction. He had defended the weak, protected the innocent, and reminded the thugs that not everyone was a pushover, and for that, he knew he would never regret stepping in.